Can you hear me there at the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. You are here this morning for first appearance. My name is Judge Christy Ruppe. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested for. As you stand before me today, you are considered not guilty of what you've been charged with, and that status will stay with you through each stage of these proceedings up until changed by you if you plea out to your case or the state attorney's office if they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you were arrested on a warrant or a new charge. Either way, you were given a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pre-trial release which will be imposed upon you. I will determine this morning whether you would like to represent yourself, whether you'd like to hire a private attorney, or whether you would like the Public Defender's Office to represent you. If you cannot afford to have an attorney, to hire an attorney, then I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office this morning. You are also entitled to make a phone call. If you haven't done so yet, please let me know. I'll make sure you get the opportunity to get that phone call today to contact friends or families or counsel to let them know where you are. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be used against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. At this time, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Swear from the testimony before the court will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, go ahead and put your hands down. And as I call your name, please come forward to the podium. Ramona Smith. Good morning, Ms. Smith. Can I have your date of birth, please?
3/22/61.
Okay. Ms. Smith, you are here today for one count of money laundering. Judge Merritt found probable cause for your arrest on October 11th when he signed the warrant. So I'm going to adopt his probable cause determination for this morning's purposes. The bond on that is $5,000. Did you want the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, the public defender's office. I have an address for you on Linden Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yeah.
How long have you lived there?
A little over a year.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a caregiver.
Caregiver? Okay. How long have you been doing that for?
Off and on for 15, 20 years, but with this company since May of 2016.
Okay. Is that full time?
Yes, it is.
Alrighty. State, does Ms. Smith have a prior record?
No prior record, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Smith, you don't have a prior record, so I'm going to set your bond at $2,500, and we're going to see you back to court on November 28th at 9 o'clock in the morning, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Kenneth Casimir. Mr. Casimir, what's your date of birth?
8792.
Okay, you are here this morning for an aggravated assault and a domestic battery, one count of each. There's currently no bond on those charges. Do you want to represent, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender, I guess.
I'm sorry?
I'm not too sure on what to do.
Okay. Well, then I'll put you in as self-represented for this morning's purposes. State, does he have a prior record?
It doesn't appear so, Your Honor. It looks like this is his first charge.
Okay. Mr. Casimir, I have an address for you on Armadillo Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you lived before last night?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
About almost 5 years.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I do fence work. I repair and put up new fences.
Okay. It's where your parents live? Your parents live on Armadillo Ave?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have someplace else to go?
Sure, that can be worked out.
Okay. Where do you have the address right now where you would go?
Not exactly.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give you a bond on these cases, but I'm also going to order that you have no contact with your parents, Sheila and James Casimir. Okay. Do not write them. Do not call them. Do not email them. Do not have anyone else call them or write them or email them. Any way that you can imagine having contact with either one of them, I forbid you to do so. If you do have contact with either one of them while this case is pending, then you're going to be arrested for a new charge of violating this order, and you're going to be held without bond until your cases are resolved. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With regard to the aggravated assault charge, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500, and the domestic battery charge, I'm going to set your bond at $500, and we're going to see you back to court on November 28th at 9 o'clock in the morning. You are self-represented right now, but if you cannot afford to, if you want to hire an attorney, you cannot afford to hire an attorney, let the clerk of court know, and you can apply for a public defender later, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, are you going to order the hold till 4 on him?
And we're going to hold till 4, yes. I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case either one of your parents want to file an injunction against you, okay?
Okay.
George Martinez? Mr. Martinez, what's your date of birth?
6/24/83.
Okay, you were here this morning for a felony domestic battery by strangulation. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to hire somebody? You want to represent yourself? You want the public defender's office?
I'm going to hire an attorney.
Okay, who are you going to hire?
I have no idea right now, but it's in the
Okay.
works.
If you don't, as we'll hire. All right, state to see your prior record?
I'm not aware of any, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Martinez, I have an address for you on Buck Hollow Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
3 years.
Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Diesel mechanic.
Okay. Is that full time?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have someplace else you can go?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know that address right now?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the address?
15704 Paddington Lane, Spring Hill.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order that you have no contact with Sandra Martinez in this case, okay? Do not write her, do not call her, do not email her, and do not have anyone else write her or call her or email her. Any way that you can imagine having contact with her, I forbid you to do so. If you see her out somewhere, you should turn around and go the other way, and even if she calls you, you should hang up the phone. If you do violate that order and you have contact with Ms. Martinez, you're going to be arrested for a new charge, and you're going to be held without bond until you resolve all your cases. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case Ms. Martinez wants to file an injunction against you. And I'm going to set your bond at $2,000. We'll see you back to court on November 28th at 9 a.m., okay?
Thank you.
Jesse Hunt?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Hunt. What's your date of birth?
11/18/78.
Okay. You are here this morning for a trespass. The bond is $1,000. I did find probable cause for your arrest. State secret prior record?
He does, Your Honor. I think this is his 5th arrest just this year, and it's fairly extensive.
Oh, for trespass, or?
I'm off for 60 days, Your Honor.
Okay. Are all his priors this year?
Oh,
or
no,
are they for
they're
trespass?
not. He
They're
has some
various.
serious charges like a kidnapping, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hunt, if you want to take care of your case today, the state will offer you 60 days for Hernando County Jail. Do you want to take care of it today?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
Absolutely.
I'll appoint the public defender's office.
As I always step on their property to throw away a piece of trash.
Okay, we'll take that as an admission.
Yes, ma'am.
Set your bond at $5,000. We'll see you back to court November 29th at 9 a.m.
Absolutely.
Okay. Get everyone at the jail?
We have an add-on, Mr.
We have
Oh,
a
we have an
Brent
add-on?
Kaufman.
Oh, Brett Kaufman. What are we adding him on for?
Your Honor, he just accepted drug offender PTI on his felony and has 2 misdemeanor cases that we're trying to wrap up. 17 MM 3031 and 3032.
What are those charges?
They're both
They're
petty
both
thefts.
petty thefts, yeah.
And 63 days in, he has credit for we're asking for time served, but I have no office in the state at this point.
His previous offer was probation with a bunch of conditions, which would now be redundant with his drug offender probation. The only issue is there is $187.76 owed on case number 17MM3032 as restitution. So he's adequately covered time-wise, but I'd ask that he be put on probation to pay back that restitution.
Put on probation on one of the cases just to pay restitution.
I guess. He's already on felony probation,
He just accepted drug offender PTI yesterday.
and we can't make this a condition of that probation? Is that possible?
But it's court-ordered PTI. I think we would have had to do it at the time that he entered the agreement.
Okay, that can't be changed.
This is Walmart.
I think Walmart actually sends letters to all the people that are alleged to have stolen from them to wrap up their cases civilly.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Trouble.
Don't get me started on that.
That's why maybe if we can put them on tomorrow's first appearance docket, I can come up with some other solution. But right now, I can't think of anything other than the state wanting to put him on probation for one of the cases.
Well, actually, I mean, as part of his drug offender PTI, he's required to comply with any court order that he's given. So if the court wanted to make a court order that he paid $187.76 during the next 12 months as a court order, then he'd be violating the conditions of his pretrial intervention contract if he didn't comply with the court order.
Okay. How long is his PTI contract for? At least a year?
Probably 18 months at a minimum.
Okay.
I'd recommend that Mr. Kaufman accept that.
Okay. Mr. Kaufman, I don't know how much you've heard about what we're talking about here, but it looks like you have restitution in one of your cases. Is that 31 or 32?
32, Your Honor.
In case number 2017 MM 3032 to Walmart in the amount of $187.76. And we're trying to figure out how to order you to pay that. So what we can do is if you want to wrap up your case, your misdemeanor cases here today, we would sentence you to 63 days Hernando County Jail, 63 days credit for time served. And I would order you to pay $187.76 within the next 12 months to Walmart.
Yep.
And what they're telling me is if for some reason you don't pay that, then you'll be violating a court order and thereby potentially violating your pretrial intervention agreement. So is that something you still want to do today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Were you here when I placed you under oath? You were here, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
You understand by taking a plea on these cases today that you're giving up the right to go to trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your right to confront the witnesses against you, right to call witnesses
Yes,
on your own behalf, and you're giving up the right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. With regard to the petty thefts in both case numbers 3031 and 3032, how do you plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. I adjudicate you guilty on both cases, sentence you to 63 days for Hernando County Jail, concurrent on both cases with 63 days credit for time served. You'll have fines and court costs assessed against you, and $620 each case. Is that right? And then $50 cost of prosecution in each case. I assume he's got the cost of incarceration in the felony case, or no? Is that part of PTO?
I wouldn't have been there for the police.
Okay.
I just have one question, Your Honor.
Sure.
I have new charges in Citrus County. Is this withhold adjudication?
No, these are adjudicated guilty.
Okay.
Your charge in Citrus County is it a violation of probation?
It's the same charge, so that's
Petty
what I'm
theft?
waiting. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's two of them.
His Citrus County case looks like it has a felony number.
Okay. Have you spoken to him about how this plea would affect any other cases that he has going on?
Maybe his felony attorney has, but I'm going to the jail this afternoon. I can meet with him.
Okay. Do you want to speak to your attorney first before going through with this plea to make sure that it's not going to make sure that you understand the effects of this plea on any other cases?
I mean, I just thought it was to withhold adjudication for time served for these charges.
No, that's not the offer. The offer is adjudicating you guilty on both of these with time served in the Hernando County Jail. But if you're not comfortable with it, I don't want you to
That-
do
that's-
it. And we can reset you to come
that's-
back in tomorrow morning and your attorney can go talk to you today.
No, that's fine, Your Honor.
You don't need more time to speak to your attorney?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So you want to go ahead for the adjudication of guilt on each charge in 63 days, Hernando County Jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And all we needed was the cost of investigation on one of them. Just, I guess, pick one.
Cost of investigation.
I mean, cost of incarceration, sorry.
One of those numbers, so the 31.
Okay. And there is no cost of investigation, right?
I
Just
don't
the
see any, Your Honor, on
Okay.
either case.
And the restitution of $187.76. Okay. All right. That should do it, Mr. Kaufman, okay?
Thank you.
We get everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.